What is up, guys, and welcome back to our Boston Bruins franchise mode series. I'm going to get right into it and show you guys our special teams units. I said I would do that between videos, and I did. The only notable thing here, well, I don't think there's really anything notable here other than like Pavelski as the second line center instead of Winberg. But I mean, I'll just go through these really quick. So I have really high expectations for this season, and pretty much if we don't do well and if we don't make at least the Stanley Cup final, I'm probably going to tear the team down and try to rebuild from there. As you guys know, the last few seasons have been rough to us, especially the Montreal Canadiens in the playoffs. So if we get by them and we perform pretty well, I'll be happy, and I'll try to just retool instead of rebuild. But if we suck dick, basically, I'm just going to start over pretty much. So I'm going to go ahead and sim these first couple of months. And during the season, I'm probably going to do everything that I can to keep this team afloat. So if we start straying off a little bit, I will make trades to try to win now, because that is definitely the goal. With the team that we have, we got an aging Bergeron who's started to regress already. Not significant regression, but it will be significant very soon. So if we can get all out of him that we can before that happens, that's the goal. And Marchand's getting up there in age too. He's probably like 32, 33. So regression hasn't quite hit him yet, but it will. This is probably Joe Pavelski's last season. Vlasic is 33. He's getting up there. He actually started regressing as well. Same thing as Bergeron. Nothing too significant, but it will be soon. Same thing with Rask. He's in the last year of his contract. He's got $7 million this year. He is age 33, and he has regressed 1 overall point. Same situation as Bergeron. Just a very slight regression, but you know it's going to happen soon, and those guys are going to go downhill fast. So this year and maybe next year, probably their last years altogether, except for Pavelski. And if we win this year, you know, I'll try to keep the team together as much as possible, maybe make a couple of additions. But if we lose, I'm just going to trade away all of our aging veterans. And we actually went 7-0 in GG Peugeot. I don't think we have any interest in him, especially for a second. Let's see. Yeah, he's only 81 overall. No, thank you. Second line forward, though, so it's probably a morale thing. Let me go look at his morale. But I don't see any need for making this trade. I think he's pretty unhappy there in Dallas. He might even be scratched if you look at their centers. Sagan, Turris, Anderson, and Eakin are their top 4 centers. So they might even have Anderson or Peugeot as being scratched. But what was I saying? Yeah, so I'll probably trade these guys away in the off season or at the beginning of next season if we do pretty poorly. But if we win, you know, which is definitely the goal, if we win, we have about a 2-year window to win both years before we need to make some major changes. So we're getting down here towards the end of our time frame from like the recognizable Bruins from when we started the series. There's only a few guys that are still left. Pastrnak hopefully is going to be with us for a long time, but the core, the aging core, they are on their last legs. We're 9-2-1 so far this season. Really good to see. So it looks like as we fuck up the Canadiens there, 5-0 shutout. Fuck you, Canadiens. I say that, then we get shut out 1-0 by the Coyotes. Jesus. Looking good so far this season. We went 7-0 in the preseason. I think I was saying that, but so a really good start. I don't really have anything else to say in addition to what I've said so far. I mean, if you look at the goaltending, we have quite a situation regarding our future, because Rask and Bernier are both UFAs. We don't really have a top-notch goaltending prospect in behind those guys. So moving forward, after these next couple of seasons, we're probably going to be running on fumes in terms of goaltending. We'll probably be like getting some 85s or 84s as a tandem. But I don't know what that's going to look like. It's not going to be pretty. Unless we can find a good deal for an elite goaltender. I don't know. It's just speculation at this point. I have no idea. So we're 22 games in. 14, 6, and 2. 3 points back from the Lightning for the division. And we are 2 points ahead of Ottawa for third, 6 points ahead of the Panthers, and they are not occupying a wild card spot. As Fiala is our leading scorer from the third line. Wow. And the Canadiens, yes. 22 games played, 18 points for the Canadiens. They are awful so far this year. I say that now, they're going to come back and have a resurgence and make the playoffs and then beat us. Oh, I'm scarred. I'm just scarred. So here's our team stats. 282 goals for is pretty good. 218 goals against is fucking fantastic. 20% power play is pretty good. 82.5% penalty kill is pretty good. And we're good both home and away. Only 5-4-1 in our last 10. But still not bad. What's the wild card race looking like? Eastern Conference. So the Panthers are not in a spot. It looks like the Islanders and the Devils are. So 26 and 25 points are the current wild card spot holders. We are a few games ahead of them. So not too concerned with our position so far. I feel like we're playing pretty well. Looking at our lines and their performance. So what the fuck? Fiala from the third line, Wenberg from the second line, Honka as a defenseman, and then we get into our top six, our top five forwards, as they Pastrnak, Hosang, Marchand, Nicky, and Bergeron. So I might need to mix up the top six a little bit, maybe switch some wingers around because other players are performing better. That third line's really good, DeBrusque, Pavelski, Fiala, so that's probably going to be something that's really important to note is how good our third line's playing. If we can just get our top six playing better, we should be an absolute force this season in the NHL. It looks like our fourth line experiment's going over just fine, as our fourth line are plus guys, all with 6 points apiece. Unfortunately, Roussel's taking a lot of penalties, but nothing we can really do about that at this point. In the minuses, Mueller and Carlos, so our third pairing defenseman, might make a little bit of change there, don't know yet. And then Marchand and Wenberg, our second line, are minuses as well. And then the rest of the top six is pretty much a 0. Nicky's a +2. So I expect to see really good numbers from Rask here. Yeah, a 202 GAA and a 936 save percentage. My goodness, he's playing like a fucking animal. In the AHL, it's kind of sad to see Rupe Hintz not at the top, but 4 guys with 14. Rupe Hintz tied for 5th with 11. Liljegren, 7 assists. He's an 81 overall, so if we see a little bit of growth from him this season, he might be good enough to make the squad next season. So I'm going to tinker with our top 6 a little bit. Let's go to edit lines so I can do that. And what I'm going to do... Man, I don't know. I really want to leave Nicky on the first line. And... I mean, that relegates Marchand to the second line. So if I'm making any sort of changes, it's going to be switching Pastrnak and Hosang. So I guess that's what I'm going to do. Hosang with 14 points, 0 plus minus. Pastrnak 16 with a 0 plus minus. The top line's not scoring too well, but the second line wasn't scoring bad. So hopefully Pastrnak can electrify those guys a little bit. We shall see. Worst comes to worst, I can just switch Bergeron and Wenberg, because Wenberg's putting up monster points from the second line. So maybe he can get Nicky going there on the first line. I don't know. Nothing too concerning yet at this point. It's just minor things that can propel us from a contender to a just dominant force. As we lose the first game after the line tinker. I did not look at the third pairing defensively. That's okay. That's okay. The only thing I could do there, like the reasonable, logical, easy move to make would just be to switch McAvoy and Carlo. But I might just move up Mueller instead. I don't know yet. So we beat the Penguins 8-1. I guess the Penguins aren't good anymore. Probably Crosby's probably regressing. Andrew Ladd. Look at that contract for Ladd. Oh my lord. Based on the return that they're asking, he is not going to be a very good player. 82 overall. Third scoring line power forward. No. Thank you. Hell no. Maybe if you had like a $1 million deal for 3 years, but 5.5 for a fourth liner. Yeah, no. As we beat the Habs 3-1 this time around, so good shit. Fuck the Habs. Providence isn't doing too well. They're about 500, but I honestly don't really care if they are good. I just want the players on Providence to progress. And yeah, 22-8-4 so far. 2 more games left in this month. Another scouting assignment, as probably don't really care about this too much. It shouldn't matter that much this season. Hell no. 7.5 mil for 5 seasons. No, thank you. Now, maybe if if the Wild retained 6 mil of that, but that's not even possible. I mean, if Parisi would guarantee that he would retire at the end of the season, maybe, but no. All right, so we are leading the division, boys, and the Habs have come back. They're in a wild card spot. Holy shit. 52 points, 1 point ahead of the Senators for first, 11 points ahead of the Habs for the wild card spot. A tight top 3 though in the division, as the Lightning are only 5 points back. But we do have a game in hand on them. So looking at our fucking team stats, holy shit. 3.19 goals for, 2.19 goals against. So we're averaging a 1 goal differential margin each and every game. That is pretty good. Power play 23.5, so that's clicking. That is clicking. Penalty kill 81.5, not too bad. 4 shorties is pretty good. 8-0-2 in our last 10 is we're pretty much on fire right now, which is good to see. So I don't think I'll I don't want to. Oh my God, the Hurricanes. 371 goals for, 211 goals against. Holy shit, they are plus 61. So the Hurricanes might be a force in the Eastern Conference that we're gonna have to get by in the playoffs. I forget what I was gonna say before I saw that. If I could go back and listen to what I was saying, I might remember, but I guess not. I guess not. Player stats. Oh, I think it was, I was going to say that based on the way it's looking right now, I'm not going to be making any deadline moves or anything, because we're playing pretty well, and I don't want to have to go in and switch everything up when it's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. Pastrnak nearly a point a game after we moved him up to the first line, so that's good. Bergeron's up to 25 points, and then Nicky's up to 28. So that move looks like it's worked out a little bit. Looks like it's worked out pretty well for us, I should say. Second line, Marchand 29, Winberg 29, Ho-Sang 27. Pretty damn good for a second line. The third line, though, Fiala 29, still pretty crazy. I think he's scoring a lot on the power play. 2 power play goals. I don't know. Maybe. Pavelski 21, DeBrusk 16. So maybe not the highest point totals, at least for these two guys. But Fiala 29, and these guys are almost plus 20s. DeBrusk 19, Pavelski 16, Fiala 14. Pretty high pluses there. And the fourth line's not killing us. Double-digit points, pretty much, minus 2s. So if those guys can finish with like 25 points on the season and be near zeros, I'd be happy with that. But the big thing here, Vlasic plus 28, Julius Honka plus 23 with 26 points. So that looks to be, so far, it looks to be a really, really good pickup for us. And all it took was Kyle Turris, who we replaced with Winberg, who's tied for second best scoring on our team. So I feel like that offseason treated us pretty well thus far. Rask with a 2 GAA and a 934 save. He's having a Vezina-type season so far. So there's no reason to not go ahead and sim some more. No reason at all. I'll sim ahead of the All-Star break, then I'll probably call it a video there. Just want to split the regular season sim into 2 videos. Probably could do it in 1, but rather do it in 2. It gives me some time to just go through and see if there's any mind-blowing trade opportunities out there. If there's any guy on like a 1-year deal that's an 85 overall or something that we could get for like a third, like that would just be an insane pickup, and I would not hesitate at the chance of doing that. We could just throw somebody like Roussel down in the AHL. That'd be no worries at all. So Mike Green, let's see what he looks like these days. Second round pick for Mike Green is an 84 overall, pretty damn good offensive defenseman, so we could throw him on the second power play unit. Probably would have to put him on the third pairing, though, and that would require us to move out one of McAvoy, Carlo, or Mueller, which I am not interested in doing, as those guys are younger than Green and filling pretty much the same role. So that would be, that move just wouldn't make us any progress. And he had 2 years left on his contract, so if he stuck around and didn't retire after that first season, that might put us in a little bit of a trouble spot. So we've lost 5 games in regulation here this month, and we won 2 before that Carolina game. So 3-5 this month is not too good. Let's see if we can pick it up these last 2 weeks before the All-Star break, and that's not a good start. Not a good start. So we're kind of ruining. Oh my lord. Oh Jesus. We're ruining how we started off the season. Overtime loss. 9-3 win. Okay, so hopefully that 9-3 win can get us back on track. Hopefully we beat the shit out of the Canucks and then the Caps. Oh, what a shutout loss. Oh my god. Oh, 4-1 win. Okay. Alright, at least we end on a win. That was a pretty shit month. Pretty shit month. So we're 2-7-1 in our last 10. And we went 4-9-1 that month. My god. We should be in a pretty good spot, though, still in the standings, just because how well we played the month prior, as we are third in the division with 63, 4 points back. I wish the logos would load. Looks like we are 9 points up on the 4th place team, so we're pretty locked in to a top 3 position, and the Leafs at 54 points are not even in a wild card spot. So, yeah. Our division's not the best outside of the top 3, which is good news. We should be able to breeze into the playoffs. I say that, then we have an epic collapse and just ruin our season. We're down to 5th in the conference, but only 4 points back from 1st. Only 4 points separate the top 5. So, yeah. Wildcard spots are 57 and 55 points, so we're a few points ahead of those guys. But as long as those stay in the Metro, we have nothing to worry about. Goals for 3.16, goals against 2.46. So Rask got beat up a little bit that month, and that caused us quite a few losses. Goals for pretty much stayed about the same. So it was kind of the defense there and the play of Rask that month. 23.3% power play, still good. 82.2% penalty kill, still good. We're 3-6-1 in our last 10, so I miscalculated, but still not too great. Pastrnak has 50 points at the All-Star break. Pretty damn good. Point a game thus far. Here's what the rest of the stats look like. Nothing sticking out to me other than Wenberg being a -4. So maybe that second line's not playing too well 5-on-5. I might need to make a little bit of a change there. I'm not quite sure yet what I would do. The third line, they've gone a little bit minus that month as well. Fourth line still playing fine. I don't think they're going to reach the 20-point mark, except for Hansel maybe. And then that's how our defense looks. So Honka plus 25, 34 points in 50 games. Really good. Goaltending, Rask up to a 2.3 GAA, so not really that great. 9.25 save. That's what I get for saying that he is having a Vezina-like season. So fuck me for that. My bad, Rask. As these screens are just taking forever to load. Holy shit. I will breeze through the trade block really quick, just to see if anything out there is super attractive. I doubt there will be. Ryan Kessler, no thanks, not with that contract. Giordano, nope. Ryan Ellis, no. Whoa, 3 years, $5 million for an 80 overall defenseman. Bobrovsky, he has a hell of a contract on him. Yes, he does. So Mike Green there, 4 years, $2 million. Fuck me, $4 million, 2 years. I will pass on that. Ladd, no thank you. Klein, nope. Dick. What's his first name? Kent Dick. Considering trading for him just because of his name. Stolars could be a good backup improvement, but I don't think the backup's going to play enough games to where it would matter. Same thing with Fleury. Backup's not going to play enough games the rest of the season for it to matter. If it was real life, it might make sense because you could throw that backup in there for like a third of the rest of the games instead of a fifth like it's currently being played, and that could give Rask a lot more rest time before the playoffs, but that's not how the simulation works. The game would not do that for me. Auto-rotate goalies is stupid. But, so yeah, that's it for this video, guys. We're in a pretty good spot to make the playoffs, and the Habs are currently out of the playoff pictures. Everything is looking dandy. And tune in next time to see all that go to hell, just because I said that it's looking fine right now. So yeah. As always, if you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe down below. Leave a comment down below, I should say. Subscribe so you can be notified when the next installment of this series goes live, as well as other series that we got going on here on the channel. Quite a few series going on, a lot of new stuff, a lot of exciting stuff. So go check everything out and let us know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time.